Miller. This is my 2019 Koenigsegg Regera. This car is a 2019, originally delivered in February of 2020 at the New York Auto Show to the original owner. Highly optioned, highly equipped. It does have the Ghost package, which is additional aerodynamic on the car in the front, sides and rear. Additionally, this car is the power upgrade, rated at 1,757 horsepower. Top speed of this car is about 251 miles an hour, 0 to 60 at 2.8 seconds. It actually held the record for 0 to 400 kilometers an hour to 0 in 2024, bested the Rimac Nevera by about a second and a half, until being bested again last year by the Koenigsegg Jesco Absolute. Fortunately for me, the original owner of this car, the person who spec'd it, did a lot of great things. Number one, he ordered the Ghost package. So it has the additional aerodynamics here in the front, carbon roof, which you'll see when we put that on later, additional aero here to the side, and these wonderful aerodynamic pieces here in the back. The wing is active, so it acts as an air brake, and it also moves to adjust downforce at different speeds. Another little cool feature that I can show you if you are trying to conceal your identity from the police, we have this neat little button here which will conceal your license plate. The power upgrade adds about 300 horsepower, additional cost of over $200,000 on the car. The power is significantly different. The car itself will do a 100-foot long burnout from launch mode. With the power upgrade, maybe we can get 120 feet of rubber on the ground. Everyone thinks that this is the exhaust, and actually that's where the cooling for the fans for the hybrid battery is there. The exhaust matches the rear splitters, so it's concealed, so you can't really tell it's not a part of the rear splitter. So that's quite unique about the Regera as well. It's got the AirCore carbon wheels on it. That's an option of over $100,000. Takes one man in the factory an entire week to make just one wheel. So now we understand why they charge so much for the car. When you're out in public, if you need to get fuel when you pull up to the gas station, you actually have to lift the rear to access the fuel lifter. And this is how that comes up. Makes some pretty unique sounds, and if you zoom in, you'll see all the great carbon work and detail under the hood. It has the triplex suspension. The tires never leave the surface of the ground under performance. So the car gets an amazing bit of traction. It's very hard to break the tires loose on this car unless you're in launch mode. The car has been shaken down by me. I've driven it probably another 500 or 600 miles. Everything that needs to have been done has been done on this car. Additionally, it's still under warranty through April of 2025. Another great thing the original owner did, he bought the 5-year warranty when he purchased the car new. It's a very solid car. If the next owner wants to extend the warranty an additional 3 years, that can be done for a little over $100,000, which I'd highly recommend. Beyond the beautiful paintwork that was selected for this car, which is a one-of-one, it's an original Koenigsegg color where the black was removed and orange was added to make it glow even more. In different light conditions, the car just comes to life. It's a beautiful finish on the exterior. The interior is also a custom color that Koenigsegg doesn't typically offer. It's a darker red. There's a brighter red that they have called lingonberry, and he selected black with the red stitching for the back and the seat bottom. Beyond that, you see the carbon detail inside the car. In the passenger compartment, you have a storage, but it also doubles as 2 cell phone chargers. So quite innovative of Christian von Koenigsegg to put that accessory in the car. The screen for all of your controls is handled by touchscreen and can be easily changed even while moving. The car also can move up to 6 miles an hour in EV mode. So if you're just starting it up and you don't want to anger your neighbors on an early morning drive, you can take it out of the neighborhood in EV mode and then start it after you leave. The top is easily removed and placed back on the car using just 5 simple snaps, 3 in the front, 2 here in the back. Everything is power inside the car, so all the adjustments for the car are actually electric and operated in that fashion. I actually have mixed emotions about selling this car. I actually own 3 Koenigsegg's now, and I have an additional one order. And then I have some other brands that I have ordered as well. So I kind of need to control myself. My financial planner has been up my case about my expenditures on cars lately. But seriously, I love the car. It's a pleasure to drive. I was looking for about 3 years for an Regera RS, which is an even more rare Koenigsegg, and I was able to secure a purchase on one. So that's the reason the car's leaving my stable. What passion drove me to buy this car? It's a pretty interesting story. You know, I literally waited, now it's almost 4 years, for my Koenigsegg Jesko, or Jesko as the Swedish say it properly. And I did the rally with Koenigsegg this year on the Saturday of Monterey Car Week. You know, I decided I'm not gonna follow this Aston Martin in front of me. I'm gonna pass other people and see the different cars as they move along the way. I fell in love with the looks of the original CCX body. There were some Regeras in the rally, and I've always noticed the white one with the blue carbon, owned by Michael down in Southern California. And then Sunday we did a track day with Koenigsegg at Car Week, and I was talking to Christian. I said, Christian, I want one of your vintage cars. And he said, well, Jeff, a CCX is kind of hard to get. There aren't many of them and people don't turn them loose. We have one at the factory, but it has to be 15 years old before you can bring it into the States. So with my level of patience, that wasn't gonna work. So he said, you ought to consider a Regera. So he looks over at Michael and says, hey, Michael, can Jeff drive your Regera? So he hopped in the passenger seat and I drove the Regera down the road. And then we came back and he says, let's take it a couple laps on the track. So we drove it on Laguna Seca. I fell in love with the feel of the car. It's unlike any other car you'll experience with the direct drive system and the way that the power comes on. Before you know it, you're doing 150 in this car and it feels like nothing, and like no effort whatsoever. It's a very smooth ride, but it's also aggressive at the same time. The roar of the engine is kind of a deeper tone than the other Koenigseggs, and I actually like that. What drove me to buy this car, my broker out of Florida found this car off market, and we made a deal rather quickly. So I've owned it since September. Didn't expect to find an Regera RS as fast as I did, and that's the only reason this car is going to go back on the market. You know, I would say my favorite memory with this car was the day it came off the truck when I purchased it, because the pictures and the videos of this car don't do it justice. It's way more beautiful in person than any video or any picture can depict. I've had a great time driving it. In fact, you know, when I let my kids drive it for the first time, they came back and they're like, wow, Dad, that's like no other car you've ever owned. It's a totally different feel. And it's a car that, you know, it's easy to fall in love with. It's one that's a special model that they've done. There's only 80 in the world, and there's only 5 equipped like this one is with the Ghost package and the power upgrade. There's only one in this color. There's only one interior this color. So it being unique, that's probably the other reason that I liked it so much. So what I would say to those of you out there who can afford a car like this, who haven't yet stepped up to this level, is, you know, make sure you're well educated before you purchase. You know, every hypercar that's out there on the marketplace is pretty much a hand-built car. There is a shakedown period that you have to go through, which is covered in the warranty period. A lot of people are afraid of this particular model because it has things, there's so many advancements in technology in it. So there's a shakedown period. This car's gone through that already. There are other cars out there on the market like it that are advertised with very low miles or no miles that are outside their warranty period already, and those are cars I'd be careful of. A car like this that's been used and driven about 1,200 miles recently, it's been 500 miles on it, and you know, several little things have been taken care of on it, and Koenigsegg is fantastic with their customer service and their warranty. They communicate, they're quick about responding, they are willing to fix it right. So I enjoy my relationship with them. But other factors in what you're going to buy, whether you buy this car or a different car, is make sure you talk to people who own them. You may not be able to get a ride in one, probably not going to be likely to do a test drive, but you know, go on the words of the people who own them. So make sure you seek those people out. A car like this just finished, you know, the 3,000 mile cannonball run, I think Southeast Asia, just a few months back, with no problems other than a flat tire. Several of the other models, you the more common Lamborghinis and Ferraris were breaking. It's quite a reliable car when it's been sorted out. To hypercar owners out there who don't own a Koenigsegg or don't have a Koenigsegg Regera, I would say to you, if you own more than one hypercar, one of them should be a Koenigsegg of some model. What's cool about this car is the design aspects. If you ask Haldora von Koenigsegg what her favorite car that they built is, this is the car. Christian is also very passionate about this car because there's so many technological advancements to it, but just the sleek design of the rear of the car and the way that they've integrated the rear splitter and the exhaust is, pretty interesting as well. The shape of this car coming at you in the rear view mirror is very menacing. All those things, if looks and performance, are the same, where a car you can literally daily drive or get in it and, take your date or your wife out to dinner, this is a fantastic car to do that in. I wouldn't be scared about the reliability of it, particularly if you do purchase the extended warranty beyond the warranty period in April expiring. I would just tell you that this is a car you can drive with confidence. It's a car that is enjoyable to drive. There's not going to be many things out there on the road that can outrun you. So that would be my reason for suggesting you get into one of these.